Hello, friends. Welcome to make sure that I can actually. Oh, look, my daughter's coming in. Look, she's in the camera. Wave to the internet. Like we're live. We're talking to all of the people.
Okay, that's cool. Hello, bye.
Hey, come here. Do you want to say hello?
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay. There you go. That was my second daughter, Esri. She's, I think, bye. Looks like she might be organising some birthday presents for a party she's going to later on today. So I just had a Voxer from one of my private clients, and I thought that I would talk about this because I think it's really important. And this woman is really challenged around a particular thing, and I think it's really necessary for us to actually talk about. So you and I both know that there is a ton of amazing things that go on in our industry, right? Would that be fair to say? There's people who are propelling people forward, moving people forward, educating, training, motivating, inspiring, helping people get out of their own freaking way, helping them to do things that they previously potentially like maybe felt stuck over or pissed off about or whatever. And like we see it happen all the time. People who are here to elevate and raise us all up. It's a really beautiful thing. Also in our industries, and I know this to be true in every single industry, no matter what kind of thing you're specializing in, that there are also people and or practices or things that happen that really fucking irk us, that get our goat, right? And I think that it's really important that we become aware that this is going on. And number one, I think it's really important that you actually have an opinion on it. So one thing that we were talking about, or that I've been talking about with some clients of mine over the last few days, has been the experience that I had at Tony Robbins' event over the weekend. And really amazing on lots and lots of levels. What I find irksome is where if you find yourself in an event and like it's just incessant selling, right? Now I know, like let's call a spade, right? If you come into my national tour event, you might come in, it's only $497 for 2 days. We're going to Melbourne, Sydney, Gold Coast, Perth, Adelaide, and you're going to be in a room with me for 2 days. It's only $497, and you're going to walk away with having the most amazing experience that you could possibly have over 2 days. You'll have your content sorted. You'll be motivated. 2020 is going to be completely mapped out. It's going to be freaking amazing. Hey, Charlie. Hey, Joe. So that's really brilliant, but I am not. It is an absolute bargain, Charlie. It is ridiculous. One of my other clients actually messaged me this morning saying her husband said, is that the actual price or is that the price you're just telling me? Really funny. It should have a zero, but anyway. So you come in the room with me over this national tour and it's going to be great, but I am not going to sell you on something in the room. I am not going to say to you, hey, come and join the mastermind, come and join the residential, come and join this boot camp, come and do this, come and, apply to be part of the mastermind, come and join the coaching stuff. I'm not going to do that because for me, I want you to want to work with me, not because I've used my wily ways of influence and manipulation to try and get you to run to the back of the room for this bunch of false ass scarcity bullshit that people often use in order to get people moving. Now, like I've seen this in many events that I've attended where there's all of these things that happen, and I'm all for moving people forward and I'm all for selling. I love selling, and I think it's a really great thing to experience when people sell well. I love being on the receiving end of a very elegant sales process. But there's ways that I think that we should do it, and there's ways that I think that we shouldn't do it. And if people are feeling if people are constantly saying, run to the back of the room, go run to the back of the room, go sign up for this thing, you're never going to get this offer again, like this is going to be the best offer. But then they go and share something out in 2 weeks' time that is either a better offer. Like, I think it's just shit. So anyway, that's my little bleh on that. So in this particular instance, though, if you see something going on in your industry and if you think it's really shit, like if I see someone who has been an employee, right? An employee has had no business experience whatsoever and then starts promoting themselves as a business coach, I think that's out of integrity, and I think it's fucking bullshit. Just because business coaching, lots of people think that business coaching, building a business around business coaching is really simple and easy, right? And it's not. A lot of people think, oh, well, if I'm a business coach, I can charge $3,000 a session, $5,000 a session, $100,000 a year. Like, it's the easy way to make money. No, it's not. It takes the same level of fucking work, whether you're a business coach, whether you're a health coach, whether you're a mentor, whether you're doing whatever it is that you're doing, but you've got to remain in integrity. And I think like the thing is, and the big question for us as people who are driven and absolutely committed to moving people forward, we can often find ourselves in a bit of a quandary, in this interesting kind of situation where we're like, yeah, we're all for empowering and we're all for moving forward and we're all for helping other people. But if you see something that is really not right, my opinion is this. If you want to position yourself as a leader, if you want to position yourself as an expert, then there are some things, hey Leanne, there are some things that you have to call out. There are some things that you have to say, guys, like if you're seeing this, if you're experiencing this, then these are some questions that you've really got to ask yourself before you go and, get into bed with them, so to speak, right? Is this making sense, you guys? Because, it is so easy for people to kind of, I guess, get caught up in some of the stuff. And it's really, I see our job as leaders is to say, hey, you guys, anyone can buy from anyone, right? I don't mind. I mean, I'd love to serve you and I'd love to help you and I'd love for you to give me your money so that I can help you on a deeper level. But ultimately, whether you're investing money with me to work with me or whether you're investing money with someone else, like I can see just the names that are on here. We've got Leanne and Charlie and Joe. Like, if you feel like you need to invest money with them to go work with them, then freaking go for it. I'm all for investing in people to get the help. But I think there's got to be some things where there are some very basic questions that we need to ask. So Leanne, I know that you're a money coach, right? But I know, if you were just brand new and maybe, if you'd had all of this money shit and you were brand new to this industry, then I might be like, maybe you might like to, people considering working with you is ask some questions first. Now, I know Leanne has got a financial planning background. She's got a broking background. She's been working with money for fucking years. Right? Years and years and years and years. So it makes sense for her to be a money and finance coach or a money mindset and finance coach, right? I know she's also done some energetic stuff. So that all kind of makes sense for her to kind of bundle that up and package that up and position that, or position herself in that kind of way. If you've got someone who's broke, who has had a whole bunch of money shit and whatever else, and they're like, oh, I'm going to be a money coach, a money mindset coach, but they've got all fucked up in the head mindsets around money and how it works and and the energetics around money, or nothing. They're just oh, I can do that. That's easy. I can help people with their budgeting. But if you don't know how to budget, or if you don't have any experience, or it's not even about the qualification, right? If you've had no experience in actually using this stuff for yourself and then propelling yourself forward, then you've got no fucking business doing it. Go and do something else. The things that always look easy, and I've had this happen in my rooms, right? So I remember in 2013, I put on my first larger scale event. It's Sales and Marketing Spy School. It happened in October 2000, or maybe August 2013. I can't remember the month. Maybe it was October. I know it was October. Not that that matters. So October 2013, my first really big event, and I was really scared about it. And it went off amazingly. Of course it went off amazingly. And we had, 50, 60 people in the room, and they were all geared towards one thing, which was learning how to market themselves in a really powerful way. How to get more clients, how to build an online presence. And it was a whole bunch of fun, really transformational for them and for me. I found it quite easy to facilitate those 4 days. I mean, it was tiring, but I had a blast. I was in my zone. It was just, I brought the magic, as I know that you guys do to your facilitation as well. Now, in the room where there was quite a number of coaches, and there's a few that I remember. One was a wellness coach that was not really making very much money, maybe making, 30 grand a year, perhaps. There was another lady, which is fine. Like there's no judgment around how much money you're making, but I'm just saying this to kind of like illustrate the point. So roll with me for a sec. There was another lady who was a relationship coach whose marriage was on the rocks, and going through a whole bunch of stuff, and didn't really like, she was getting coaching, like general coaching clients, but not getting relationship coaching clients. There was another lady who was an artist who was running workshops and wanted to scale them. Okay, so we use those three examples. Now, by the end of this event, like they were all razzed, they were all excited. And I mean, a lot of the stuff that I teach isn't rocket science, guys. Like a lot of it is common sense, but it's making a lot of the complex things like really simple so you can actually take a step and move forward, right? That's what everything's about, taking a step and moving forward. So what I found out within 2 months of that event finishing up, the wellness coach had become a business coach. I'll say that again. The wellness coach, who was a brand new coach, had decided to become a business coach. The relationship coach had a marriage breakdown, wasn't getting any more coaching clients, and decided to become a business and marketing coach. The third person, who was an artist, who was running workshops, decided to become a business coach. Now, that to me is out of integrity. That to me is the exact shit that is like, you know how marbling goes through meat, right? And it's like all veined and like all like marble, like, you know, all the veins of the marble goes like in all of the places. That's the shit that undermines an industry. Now, just because somebody else makes something look really easy doesn't actually mean that it is really easy. It doesn't have to be complex. It doesn't have to be simple. But usually, or it's like, it may be simple, it may not be complex, but it's not usually easy. So my opinion is that if you are someone who really wants to inspire, lead, and move people forward, you have an obligation to your audiences to call this shit out in your industry that you believe is wrong, is insidious, is out of integrity. Okay, that's your job, because people will look to you, they will defer to you for an opinion, right? They will look to you and you know, again, like I don't really care. Like, I mean, I care, but if you don't want to buy from me, then that's totally fine. I would never assume that you should or would or whatever. But if you're thinking about getting a business mentor, then find someone who's done what it is that you want to do, right? It's kind of like 101. Like if you've got a relationship that's on the rocks, and you find out that the relationship coach has got a relationship that's on the rocks, like it, you know, it's just, to me, it's just out of integrity. So lead the way, be the voice of reason, be the voice of truth, and know that it will piss some people off, and that's fine. It will also inspire and motivate some people. It will help people go, oh, thank God, you know, thank you so much for saying that, because this thought never would have crossed my mind. And this is the thing, you know, like I was saying with these events, I actually don't think that it's right to hypnotize people and NLP people and like whatever en masse in order to get them to buy the next thing from you. I think there are other ways of doing it that are a lot more ethical. I've seen posts go up over the last few days from people who were at this event on the weekend who said, you know, I bought this thing and then I've gotten home and I'm like, I bought it on a whim. Now we're talking $10,500, you guys, right? $10,500, where people have bought on a whim because this is by their own admission, because they're like, I was just caught up in the moment and, you know, I just felt like I had to do that. You know, that's what hypnotizing people in a room does. And when you get home and you've got a bit more clarity, it's like, oh, okay. So I'm all for moving people forward and I'm all for selling, but I think that we've got to do it in a way where people actually say, you know, hey, how can I get more help from you? And then have a conversation about what that looks like. And that's what's happening at this event. No pitch. And the national tour, you will walk away with your 2020 content plan. You'll know exactly what it is that you're doing, and you know, that's my stance. No pitch. I'm not going to try and sell you something. I might get you to buy the book, right? Maybe I'll tell you to buy the book because I think everybody should own my book. If you're wanting to be visible online, buy the freaking book. But I'm talking $30. I'm not talking $30,000. Yeah, I think that there's other ways that we can move people forward and help them to take further steps from us, with us, or with someone else, whichever way it looks. So that's my little rant on that. You as the leader have an obligation to call the shit out as you see it. And some people will agree with you. Some people will say that's a whole bunch of bullshit. Some people will say, yes, that's great. Some people will say you're full of bullshit and it's a limiting belief and you're driven by trying to create a monopoly, or you're driven by blah, 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 blah. Whatever, who cares? They can all make their own opinion. They're going to make their own opinion anyway. So you might as well say what it is that you believe, how you believe people should show up, how you believe people should consume the information or do whatever it is that they do. Hey, Jacko. Great to see you. So that's my rant. If you have not yet secured your capital city for the national tour that is happening in November, head over to nicolamoras.com.au/events. You guys, I wrote this back to front. This is actually written back to front on my whiteboard. You know how, on my whiteboard wall, you know how Facebook does the mirroring thing on live streams? That is all written back to front. So if you have not, if you're impressed by that, then you should totally be in the room. But if you want to come and hang out, it'd be really great. $497, 2 days, 2020 marketing plan, all done, your own unique marketing plan. Not something that I think you should do, but all out of your own brain. Come and hang out in November. Otherwise, get out there, go help some people, share your opinions, share the things that you really advocate for, share the things that you believe to be true and right and just, and call the shit out. You don't have to name and shame. I don't think that's appropriate, but I do believe you need to call it out and actually, in some instances it is, but in some instances it's not. Just call it out and tell it like it is and explain why you think that is. Leanne, that's impressive. Yes, it is. I hope to see you there. It'll be really amazing. All right, everybody, get out there, go help some people, have a whole bunch of fun doing it, share your opinions, and remember that the world is ready for your brand of awesomeness. I'll talk to you tomorrow.